What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Spider Cal, and I'm back. I'm back. I had a little trouble with my YouTube account or whatever. Like I couldn't post proper videos. I couldn't put titles on them. Every time I upload a video, it'll show up unnamed or something. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just need more equipment. You notice your boy Spider Cal, poor man's review coming at you. I ain't got shit. I just got my phone that I'm talking to you guys through right now. I need equipment so I can do this properly. But we're gonna talk about the new movie that came out, A Quiet Place. And I'm just gonna have to say, man, I'm gonna have to give it to is it Emily Blunt? I think her name is Emily Blunt. I'm gonna have to give it to her because she completely changed my mind. Seeing the trailer, originally seeing the trailer to The Quiet Place, it intrigued me and it scared me at the same time. And it intrigued me because just the vibe of the trailer. I was interested because of the vibe, and I was intrigued because of, like, the vibe of the trailer, the eerie tone, why everybody's quiet, why everybody's doing their utmost best not to make a noise, what's going on. And the trailer was done so well because they don't show you what's going on. They're being quiet and hiding for a reason and from something, but they don't show you what it is in the trailers until you actually watch the movie. And the reason why it scared me is because the same vibe I got from watching the trailers of The Quiet Place is the same vibe I got from watching the trailers of It Comes at Night, the movie that It Comes at Night. And that movie was such garbage. It was garbage. You don't even know what comes at night. It was like, It Comes at Night was like a big mess that somebody that had power and money to blow, just like, I just feel like, just blowing money for no reason. It was kind of like a combination of it kind of gave me the vibe of the movie, what is it, Cabin Fever, but without the whole, like Cabin Fever, because there's a sickness going on, there's something going on, you don't see too many people, except for like the main family, and then, some drifters, that end up crossing their paths, and then like two random other people that you don't know nothing about, you don't know their name or anything, and it's just a big movie full of paranoia and stupidity. We never see what comes at night. Like, they make it kind of seem like it's 28 days, weeks, the Walking Dead zombie type deal, but you don't see anything. You don't see nobody, no zombies, nobody dead. It's just, they got this sickness that, they're trying to stay away from, and there's also something that they're hiding from. But you never see it. You don't even hear like sound effects of whatever it could be. Garbage movie, awful movie. And when I saw the trailer to A Quiet Place, it reminded me of It Comes at Night. Like, same type of vibe, And the movie is, A Quiet Place is like an apology coming from those that made It Comes at Night. It was like our bad, we're sorry, Here's what we really wanted to do, something around this realm. Because A Quiet Place, you got the family that's taking refuge in a house deep in the woods, just like in It Comes Out at Night. This family in Emily Blunt's movies trying to be the utmost careful, and they got a bunch of like they got a lot of food and provisions and stuff from scavenging, and same thing for Mom. It Comes at Night, same thing. They doing the exact same thing. It's just, this movie was just done so well. This was a good movie. It was done so well. We know why they have to, we find out why they have to be quiet. They show, why they have to be quiet. And it really kicks off like right in the beginning of the movie and keeps you on that, edge of your seat type of feeling throughout the entire movie. I'll say the kids, the children that plays in this movie, the children of Emily Blunt and this other fellow, I don't know his name. I don't know if they even have names in the movie. I have to watch the movie again. I will watch the movie again because it was really good. But because they was really quiet, they didn't do really any talking throughout the entire movie, just a lot of sign. But in the beginning of the movie, Emily Blunt and her husband, they got 3 children. It starts off with them scavenging. They're in the grocery store. They're scavenging for like food and medication. Emily Blunt, middle child, her son is sick, and she's looking for something. It looks like antibiotics she's looking for to give to him because he was running a fever. The oldest, which is a daughter, she's deaf. Like, she's completely deaf. And then they got the youngest boy, that's running around, the grocery store when he shouldn't be because he's supposed to be quiet. Everyone travels barefoot, no matter where you go or how far you go. You don't travel with shoes on. Everybody travels barefoot. And, it's just, the kids in this movie, to me, reflects children of today. Stupid. Don't want to listen to anything. You got your parents that's woke, knows better, and the dad and Emily Blunt, they were woke. Especially the dad. They were woke. It was in the movie, there was a difference between knowing the situation and being woke to the situation. The father was woke to the situation, and he was trying to teach his children, the things necessary to know in order to survive, in this world. But back in the very beginning, they're in the grocery store. Emily Blunt's looking for medication for her son because he's sick, and everybody else is scavenging for food and whatever. The little boy, the youngest little boy, he's running around, the grocery store. That pissed me off because they're supposed to be quiet. And then on top of that, the parents are not really reprimanding him. They're not disciplining him. Telling him to stop, in silence, cut that shit out, sit your ass down somewhere, Because then at one point he's talking to his sister, and then he runs off again, and he's climbing on the shelves trying to get a rocket ship, a little rocket thing, spaceship toy that makes noise and lights up because you got batteries in it. He knocks it off of the counter. His sister rebounds it, catches it, no sound, right? The dad saw what happened. Right there, he should have said, signed something like, sit your little ass down, He told, no, the sister after she catches the toy, she put it back on the counter. Everybody else rally up in front of the building, and they're getting ready to go. This kid disappears again to go back for the toy. And he comes back, and the dad tells him, look, inside, this is too noisy. We cannot have this. Took the batteries out, put the toy and the batteries on the counter. He's standing there with his lips stuck out. Everybody else walk out except for the deaf sister and the little boy that wants the toy. The idiot, rebellious deaf sister decides to undermine her father and give the little boy the toy anyway. I tell her, be quiet about it. And then she walks out the store. So with the little boy being the last person to walk out, also grabs the batteries off the counter too. So he's the last person walking. They all walking together, traveling together back to where they live. He's the last person all the way in the back of the line. He's too young, first of all, to be dragging that far back. But this boy, he's working on the ship. And it's funny how he comes out the store. He comes out like almost like gangsters do when they stuff stuff in their pants or their jacket or whatever, trying to hide it from his parents. But he's working on that toy the entire time, trying to put the batteries in. And then they're about to cross a bridge. Mind you, this is right in the beginning of the movie. They're all about to cross a bridge, and then, he finally gets the battery in, and the toy is making all kinds of noise. And, Emily Blunt already knew what was up. As soon as she heard the sound, she just fell to her knees and just started crying, softly, quietly crying. You know, the dad tried to run to him, but it was already too late because it was something from the woods. So, and it reminded me of something I've seen in a movie before in the past, but I can't remember. I'm gonna have to see him again. I'm gonna have to look it up. It reminds me of monsters from a movie that I've seen in the past. But these things, like, they got these long, stretched out arms and legs, and like it was sprinting towards the kid and snatched him up. And then they show you the opening title, A Quiet Place. And then and this is 87 days in. Because when it starts, it says 87 days in. So wherever these things came from, they already did they damage, and people know what they were able to discover about them in the 87 days in, and all that happened, and the boy dies because he was hard-headed. And the sister blamed herself because it's her fucking fault. She shouldn't have did that. So now it's like 450 something, after 400 days in, time goes by. I'm upset again because when you see the family this time, Emily Blunt is pregnant. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, why are you knocked up? What are you guys doing? You know the situation. Y'all supposed to be woke. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Okay, smashing is one thing, but you guys need to have some kind of contingencies. I mean, I know, the world's kind of, in a dire strait, but you can find like go to the grocery store, pick up some condoms, man, I know there's some condoms laying around somewhere. Them things last for a long time. Or go to the grocery store and get like a plastic grocery bag, get a bunch of them. Wrap it around your, you know what I'm saying? When you get ready to get your lady, wrap it around and do your business in that. Not in her, because babies are loud. They come out loud. Plus you got to spank them out. All that is noise. Like, so it shows them progressing after what happens to the youngest. The father is doing his best to maintain and keep his family alive, and out of all movies I've ever seen, watching this guy that plays the father, like, he's the greatest, and this might sound weird, he's the greatest interpretation of a father figure I've seen in the movie. Because this dude was ride or die for his family, man. He was doing everything for his family and trying to teach him things. And like his kids was fighting him every step of the way. Every step of the way. The main one that I disliked was the oldest daughter. And I'm going to call her Miss Piggy. Not because I dislike the things that she did and her rebellious nature in the movie, because she really looks like Miss Piggy. I'm dead like, she's not fat. Her face is chunky as hell, like, but in the face she looks exactly like, I'm telling you, exactly like Miss Piggy. Eyebrows and all. She got a little chunky nose that looks like a snout. She got the chunky cheeks and everything, the chin. She looks like Miss Piggy. Her hair was cut short. She looked like Miss Piggy. She was a human Miss Piggy. And no, it's not a diss, an intentional diss, but, she looked like Miss Piggy. Straight up. So you have Miss Piggy that's rebelling against her parents the entire time. She blames herself, rightfully so, for what happened to her younger brother, but she's taking it out on her dad, Like, she's rebelling against her dad as if her dad was treating her in such a way where it was evident that he blamed her for what happened to the youngest child, which, he didn't. He was distraught like his wife was distraught, but he was still, trying his best with his kids and with her, trying to figure out a way, because he has so many different hearing aids. He was trying to fix the hearing aids so she'll be able to hear. She couldn't hear anything. And she was just like, she didn't want to cooperate. He'll tell her to do something. She didn't want to do it. Like, he wanted to teach the middle child, which is now, I guess, the youngest child, at that time, how to hunt, how to fish, you know, how to stay quiet, you know, what to do in the wilderness, how to how to loot, you know what I mean? You know, how to go out in the city, you know what I'm saying? Looking for food or whatever. He was trying to teach him the things that's necessary in order for him to survive when he get older against these things. The little girl, he didn't want to go. The little boy was rebelling against the dad. You know, even the mom was like, you need to learn these things, man. You know, it's for your own good. You know what? But he was crying like in sign language. I don't want to go. And the daughter, she wanted to go. And I didn't understand why the dad didn't want to take her with him. You know, I kind of took it at the time. He was a little pissed off with her for rejecting him and the hearing aid that he worked so hard on, increasing the frequency, hopefully, you know, thinking it's gonna work so she'll be able to like hear things. But you know, she rejected it. I kind of felt like, you know, he was a little peed off over that. So he left her there. She ran off. He left with his son. They went to a waterfall. He was teaching him how to fish and everything. The son was scared shitless the entire time until, you know, the dad like taught him, you know, we're at a river, you know, like we're not gonna get caught. And then he took him to a waterfall, you know, like and the son was scared, you know, like you're safe, you know, they can't hear us when it comes to louder noises like the river, you know, like the river's too loud for them to hear us. This is where we're the safest. We could talk, you know, and whatever, you know. And while that was going on, Emily Blunt by herself was being a mom, you know, doing laundry and stuff like that. She was in the basement and she was taking the laundry upstairs. And when she walked upstairs, I still don't understand how it happened, but there was like a random nail that was sticking upwards. It on the step, you know, just like it was weird, you know, like there was nothing broken. No, I didn't see anything drop, you know. It couldn't have been a drop nail because it was in that same position throughout the entire movie. But sometime later, Emily Blunt, she goes downstairs. Oh, her water breaks. Her water breaks. She trying to make her way back downstairs into the basement. She ended up stepping on a knife and she screams a little bit and stumble, making noise. Them things show up, you know. I don't know how they got in the house because the doors and everything was closed and locked. I don't know how that happened. I believe. Or was she hanging up? I got to see that movie again. I don't know how they got into the house. I don't remember her leaving the door open for any reason. I don't know. I don't know how they got in. But it was in. And they was looking for her. And the nail was still there the entire time, you know, sticking upward like that. Her water was breaking and she needed to find a place, you know, to have her baby. She ends up MacGyvering her way all the way upstairs into the bathroom inside the tub. The dad, Miss Piggy, you know, while all this is going, Miss Piggy had already left. Like before Emily even stepped on the nail and like caused attention on herself, Miss Piggy, she leaves because she's upset because the dad didn't take her with him. Or didn't take her with him. She leaves and back to the bridge where the youngest boy got snatched. And she got like this little, I don't know, shrine or whatever, you know, in memory of him, you know, like different toys and stuff. And I think it was a cross or whatever. And she was there all day, all the way till nightfall, you know, like laying there. I'm like, this chick is crazy. She's a liability, man. She in my opinion, I feel like she got her dad and her brother killed. She gonna get the rest of her family. She gonna cause her mom, her brother, and her younger brother, her newborn brother, to get killed too. She's just so damn dumb. You know, like grow up, man. You know, and listen to your dad and your mom. Stop being stupid. But all right, so the dad and the son runs back to the house. They got this code thing where, you know, when someone's in trouble, you know, you flip the switch downstairs and they got like a big light set up, you know, around the house and area that they was living in. You know, they got a bunch of different contingencies, you know, to help, you know, them out of a situation just in case if these things tried to attack them. real quick, these things kind of remind me a little bit of like in the face at least, Tremors, because like their face, they can't see anything, they have no eyes or anything, but like their face will crack open apart and pieces of them will like come flying, just like in Tremor. Was it Tremors? With the worms that'll bury in the ground and come out with at least 3 tentacles, like hentai tentacles, come out their mouth and latch onto you and bring you back down. Like they had heat sensors in Tremors. Like these armor flaps will come out and they'll scan and they'll look for heat signatures. These things kind of did the same thing, but it was like a bunch of several individual pieces that kind of stuck out, but it wasn't. They couldn't sense any kind of heat signature. Like the only way they was able to hunt is through sound. They had like super hearing, like they open their mouths and a piece will open up and you got like this deep eardrum looking thing in their mouths or something where they could hear from miles away. So yeah, that's what they look like. For some reason, they say they're invulnerable, or their armor, their bodies is like you can't pierce their bodies, even though like we didn't see any of that in the movie until like the very end. But we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. But what the hell? Thank you. But yeah, these guys are supposed to be indestructible. Like their bodies are basically like armor, according to like a bunch of different news clippings that the dad was saving and stuff like that, and what it read. And like the rest of the movie was about them like really trying to save each other. Like they were trying to save the mom. The dad sent the little boy out to set off some firecrackers as a distraction so that he can run inside and get the mom. But there was a few things that didn't make sense. Like after he got the mom, they already had a plan on how they was gonna keep the baby unheard, or hidden from these monsters things. And he takes his wife into the barn, and he walks down like this basement compartment in the barn. And instead of like having like a door or something, he had a mattress and he slid the mattress on top of it. And it kind of muffled, or decreased the sound of the baby crying a little bit. And that was another thing. Because Emily Blunt gave birth to the baby by herself. How did she cut the umbilical cord? And why that baby wasn't crying? The babies cry when they fresh out the womb. Like, why that baby wasn't crying? That baby didn't start crying until the dad found both of them and he started walking them into the basement of a different barn, And he put the mattress on top of the entrance that he went in, and the things couldn't hear him. And then he took the baby. Here's what bugged me out too. He took his baby. I mean, I understand why he did it. It was just bugged out. He took his baby and he put his baby in this little wooden box that they built, and it looked like a little baby casket, because he like put the top on, slid the top on, so you couldn't, because the baby was crying, and he had to keep him quiet, and he slid the top on, and it muffled his sound greatly. I'm like, damn, you just put your newborn in a casket, like. The movie is good, guys. The movie is great. Come to find out, they discovered the weakness. The dad, the hearing aid that the dad made for the daughter, he made the frequency more powerful. And whenever the daughter is confronted or these things are around her proximity, the hearing aid will start this loud frequency noise that hurt the hell out of these monsters and cause them to run off. Mind you, the basement of the father, he had like this radio system and these monitors. He had kind of like a little The Walking Dead type MacGyver thing going on in the basement of his home. The daughter never realized that her hearing aid was messing with these monsters. She never knew. But progressing forward, because we're getting almost 30 minutes on this, but progressing forward in the movie, the dad ended up sacrificing, and I knew he was going to end up dying. I knew the father was going to die because he had bad kids that didn't want to listen. All three of them. Neither one of the kids wanted to listen to their parents. And I knew from the beginning, like, he's going to die because of these badass kids. But he sacrificed himself to save his children, you know, because they got themselves in situations that they, you know, that they shouldn't have. Everything wasn't their fault, but there was a lot of things, and there was little things that could have been done that would have prevent all of that. Like for example, Emily Blunt, you know, stepping on the nail and, you know, and getting into trouble like that in the first place. If the daughter was there helping her like the dad told her to before he left, none of that would have happened. You know, none of that would have happened, you know, but then we wouldn't have a movie. So the dad sacrificed himself for his kids. The kids make it back to the house. They all run to the basement, the original basement where the mom stepped on the nail. She got a shotty, and the youngest son is holding his newborn brother, hiding, and the daughter is like, you know, for the first time, because she was never allowed in the basement. None of them were. None of the children were. You know, first time she was in the basement, you know, she's looking at everything, all the work that her dad was doing and how he was trying to, like, keep the family safe. All the hearing aids he was trying to modify and, you know, and build for her that she didn't appreciate. But now she appreciated because her dad's dead and stuff. Like, she was so rebellious, man. It was just pathetic. I hated it. Loved the movie, hated her rebellious nature. And then when one of the monsters came down and you was really able to see its face, you know, it had like a Venom types from like Marvel Comics type snout, and like the mouth would like stretch out, and you could see like the jaw pieces open up where you could see like the eardrums deep in the skull or whatever. And then like the flaps, because it had no eyes, you know, but there's like it'll crack to piece, like several different pieces, and no pieces like fly up, and you can see like all this meat and stuff in the inside, and it was gross, man. It was gross. So out of nowhere, the daughter realized, like, oh, this frequency in my hearing aid, it bothers them for some reason. You know, she just knew it. I don't know. I don't know why. It didn't make sense. But she turned it back on, and she watched how the thing started freaking out, and Emily Blunt picked up on it too. Like, what? For real? So what she did, there was a CB speaker, and she upped the frequency, and she put the hearing aid on the speaker, and it messed him up. It messed him up so bad that for whatever reason, Emily Blunt was able to shoot it with the shotgun and kill it. Even though, according to the news clippings from the father, these things are supposed to be indestructible. So like, I'm wondering, like, does the noise weaken their hardened shell or something like that? Like, is that how it works? So, you know, like, I need to see this again, and there needs to be a part 2. But here's the problem with a part 2. It's not going to have the same people, and it's not going to be as good. If they make a part 2 to this movie, A Quiet Place, it's going to be a B movie at best. I can't watch. I guarantee you. I'd be shocked if I see a sequel to this movie in the theaters and not straight to DVD or the PlayStation Network. You know, I'd be shocked. But yeah, like, you know, the way they ended the movie, they ended as if they were going to do a part 2. You know, because now Emily Blunt was ready. Like, they see the monitors, a bunch of them was running to their house because she shot the one that was in the basement with them, you know, and killed it. Now a bunch of them was running to the house. So the girl, she turned up the frequency some more, and Emily Blunt was like, she was ready this time, because she was like crying almost like throughout the entire movie because she was so frightened for her family and for her baby and stuff. And then there was this time when she was just crying. You know, it just bothered me a little bit. You know, I can't take too much of that crying. But yeah, man, you know. And it ended like that. She put the hearing aid to the receiver, and Emily Blunt, you know, cocked her shotgun, and it ended it. You know, like that. So they could very well do a part 2. You know, Honestly, I'm gonna say this again, guys. I did not like the rebellious nature of the children, but the kids that act in the movie was excellent. Everyone did an excellent job. It was a great movie. It was really, 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 really good. And I would suggest this movie to anyone. You know, out of a 10 score rating, I give it a solid 8. 8 out of 10, solid, no problem. What else I want to say about this movie? I don't know. I guess that's really about it. You know, it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie. I don't want you guys to think, you know, that I hate children or anything like that, because I don't. You know, I love kids. I hate rebellious kids, and I hate kids that don't listen. And as I said before, I feel like this movie is also a big reflection on the rebellious nature of this current generation of children, you know, and the inconsistent parenting of this generation of parents, you know, because, you know, I'm a school bus driver and I see a lot of bad kids, and, you know, and their parents just let them be bad. You know, I'll be telling some of them, like, you're not helping your children by not being a parent and disciplining them when they need to be disciplined. I'm not telling people to go around and just beat your kids for no reason, you know. But when your kid steals, if your kid's 5, 6 years old and they dropping F-bombs and they cursing and stuff like that, if they're hitting, if they're talking back to the parent, you know, anything like that, they need to be popped. You know, they need to be popped. Whoop your kids, spank your kids, find out something, some way, something that they hate and dislike that'll put them to tears, and use that to discipline them with. Stop listening to this fucking government, man, because the government, they're in it for themselves. It's all a big trap. They get in your business, they get in our business, talking about, oh, it's against the law to beat your kids, you ain't supposed to beat your kids, da 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 da. And then as kids grow up and you stop beating them and you start disciplining them because you're scared of the law and scared of the government and what they said, you know, they still getting into mischief. You know, man, it's annoying, but it's pretty much safe mischief because they're kids, you know, and it's little mischief right now. They're kids and they're growing up. Now little mischief becomes big adult mischief, and now they're hurting people. So it's not gonna be teachers reporting them. It's not gonna be, you know, people like me trying to school people like their parents and telling them to do better. Who's gonna meet these kids? It's gonna be Po doing this to them, and it's gonna be too late. And it doesn't matter how much the mom and parents want to cry and whatever. Then it's gonna be too late. That's what I be thinking about, the bigger picture. You know, children can't do anything unless their guardians allow them to do them. You know, if your kids are bad, it's because you allow them to be bad. If your kids are used to talking back, because you're allowing them to talk back. You know, they're taught this at home first, and then they bring it out into the world. And that's just the truth. And in this movie, all 3 children, you know, from the beginning, the Miss Piggy, the scary middle child, and the idiot young kid, you know, in the very beginning, none of them will listen. None of them will listen. And then when they get into trouble, they need some help. They want somebody to help them. I can't stand that shit. Like, it bothers me. But the work they did was excellent. You know, the work they did in the movie was excellent. I know they had a job to do. I honestly, watching these children, I was able to relate as far as, you know, the mentality of, you know, the current generation of children, you know, and how they behave and how they don't want to listen to anybody, and then they get themselves in trouble and they want help, you know. So the way they portrayed that they did an excellent job. You know, it was a great movie. It was really good. I suggest this movie to anybody. That's really it, guys. You know, I want to talk more. Next time you guys see me, I'm gonna do a review on Ready Player One. I saw that a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't done a review on it yet. But I want to do it with my boy, you know, because we both went to go see it. So I'm gonna plan that out with him, and we're gonna see what we can do. Yeah, and until then, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.